Welcome back to Ozarks Tonight. Well, sports at Missouri State University were abruptly canceled this year during coronavirus, and we're still waiting to see when they're all going to come back around. But it has given us an opportunity to take a look back at some of the best seasons in Missouri State sports history, and one of those is the 2003 baseball season, all the way back when they were Southwest Missouri State still. Wyatt Wheeler from the Springfield News Leader has written multiple articles this week taking a look back at that team from 2003, 17 years ago, and he joins us now in the studio. Wyatt, great reporting this week, really fun to go through and read those articles. What was kind of your inspiration to go back and take a look at, one of the most iconic teams in Missouri State or Southwest Missouri State history?
Yeah, without sports, what else am I going to write about right now?
Exactly.
But, I've always heard about the 2003 team. I didn't live down here or anything at that time. I've heard the stories always. It's the College World Series. Mm-hmm. It's as far as you can go in a lot of these things. And I could have done something Lady Bears, could have done Sweet 16 team with the men, some of the men's stuff, but we didn't have baseball really this year. I was never able to get out to Hammons Field and talk to Keith Gutton and some of those guys. So I thought that was just the perfect place to look, was being able to talk to Keith, Bill Rowe, and there was just so many stories there. And I went back and started reading just past news leader reporting on some of the stuff too, and just some of the characters and stuff, and the people that I've always heard are so highly spoken of here in Springfield. Just talking to some of those guys, hearing their stories, being able to laugh with them, and all of them were down to talk, and I had a couple hour-long interviews with some of those guys. So it just seemed like a perfect place to do kind of a series and a kind of an oral history, just looking back at a great time that people might want to look back at now that there's nothing really going on.
Definitely, and the one of the big takeaways I had when I was going through it is, of course, the team was had future major league talent on the team with Brad Ziegler. Sean Markham spent a good amount of time in the big leagues, and then quite a few minor league players as well that were big contributors on the team. But one thing that they all seem to say is that how much fun they had being a part of that team for those years. Being snubbed a few times for NCAA tournament selections, and then finally breaking through and winning the regional and making it to the College World Series. When we were interviewing the players, what were some of the favorite stories that they told you about that season?
Oh man, they just laughed and laughed just thinking back at some of the guys and the goofy things they did. The one that stuck out the most and kind of took the title of the entire series was Year of the Snake. So Bob Zimmerman having a big old boa constrictor and bringing it around a team and naming it Omaha after the city where the College World Series takes place. Just having that in there was just a ton of fun, something all the guys could look back at and laugh and be like, I did not like that snake, because I wouldn't have liked it either. But there's that. There's also, Brooks Colvin turning over, just trying to get a rise out of the crowd and turning over the batting circle that reads Nebraska, getting people to boo the Bears the entire series, and just kind of feed off the energy of being the enemies while there and still being able to come out victorious. All the guys talked about how much they loved each other, how much they spent with each other outside of practice and everything. They said even after practice they would just go find a guy's house and hang out together as a team. So this group was that close, and you talk about the major leaguers and the minor leaguers, and there was just so many little stories there to just add it up for this team to be able to go to make a postseason run. Whether it was Brad Ziegler deciding to take a redshirt year instead of playing the first year he was on campus, which allowed him to be on the team in 2003. If you don't have Brad Ziegler, you probably don't make the College World Series that year. So just little things like that. There's Markham deciding to transfer over from Mizzou. So there's just a lot of little things that just added up to make it the special team it was and give them the special run they went on.
One of the other things that I really enjoyed about it is just some of the classic photos, and it reminded me that this is before Missouri State played at Hammons Field. You think of them, they've played at Hammons Field for years and years now, but before that it was Price Cutter Park where this team played. Before that it was Metter Park. Some of those classic photos were really cool. When you've talked to Coach Gutton in the past, where does this 2003 team, fall for him in terms of his best memories? He's had other good teams as well. Where does this 2003 team slot in?
Well, you always ask him, but if anybody knows Keith Gutton, he's going to give you the short answer that a lot of things have a special meaning to him. But you could tell just from the way that you talked to him how much it meant to him to take a team and be able to have the special memories of going to Omaha. So just little things like that, and then those things like add up to like where he wanted that so bad for the 15 team because he knew how much they would have enjoyed it and how much they deserved it. Just came up a game short at Arkansas. And then the 2017 team, of course, also going to a super regional and coming up short at Texas Christian. So, I mean, it's definitely up there. It's one of those things that he can, they're all proud of. I mean, you see there's the reunions and stuff all the time for those guys. And I mean, it's the thing talking to those coaches, just how much detail they remember, those little things that make them laugh and smile as they reflect and look back, just how much it meant through the little details that they still carry to today.
And it really was a trip down memory lane for me. As growing up in Springfield and a sports fan, I remember watching those games on TV and really getting behind the team because it was such a big deal here in Springfield for that team to, be put on the map nationally and make it to the College World Series. If folks at home want to find your articles online, where can they go find those and read it for themselves?
Yeah, those will be at news-leader.com. They're always on my Twitter at Wyatt_NL. They're pretty searchable. If you look up Year of the Snake, it's right there for you. And we have a few cool things that help get you a series of series. And just search it right there, and everything's kind of available.
All right, Wyatt Wheeler from the Springfield News Leader. Wyatt, thanks so much for coming in and taking us down memory lane while we don't have any live sports to watch. Hopefully they come back in the near future.
Hopefully soon. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We'll be back with more Ozarks Tonight right after this.